Okay, now we're going to start talking about styling your documents. And you may be styling them right now manually by hand. So, for example, if we're going to start styling this amazingly interesting paper on earthworms, we're going to want to set this up. Well, maybe obviously this is the title. And maybe we want to center the title, and we're going to want to make it bigger, say font size 24. And I want to make it extremely distinctive, so people will know how interesting my paper is. And then I'm going to go through and style all my headings. They're size 12. I'm going to make them size 16. And I'll make them a blue, let's say. And I'm going to use the format painter, and I'm going to paint other ones. I'm not going to paint the last two words in that sentence. But I'm going to use the format painter, and I'm going to paint a few of these. I want to show you an example on some of these. So we get some of our headings in here. You didn't realize I did such an interesting paper on earthworms, did you? Okay, that's enough. So now we have this document set up, and we have a title and some headings, and that looks like a pretty good document. But it really is just we've done this all manually. We can do it with styles, and it will be much a more powerful tool. So here's the same document. I just saved a different copy of it. And so if we want the title here to this to show up as a title, we just go over here and click title. And then maybe we want this as heading 1 because it's all worms, very important. And now we're going to have these be heading 2s, right? So we're going to move them down a little bit, heading 2. So all I got to do is pick that, and it's a little bit easier than the way we were doing it before, but not that much easier. But here we have a heading, or excuse me, a title with some headings, and this is pretty cool. But now from here, I can change it, the whole paper all at once. All the ones I've styled. I can go through. There's only a couple left. And do that. I think this is just a stray sentence, but now it's a heading, just because it is. So here we can set styles up we've set our styles up, but now maybe I want to change the way this paper looks. Okay, so I've painted it, and I've also here I have created a structure. I've made headings, I've got a title, whereas in this document the look isn't a whole lot different, but I don't have any structure here, right? I've just painted the words different colors, and I haven't changed the structure of the document, where in this paper I have created a different structure. And so now I can drop this styles down and look at the style sets, and I can change it to, this is maybe elegant, this is fancy, very formal, a manuscript, modern. So you can go through and pick out different that styles the whole document. Now notice it's not only changing the headings and stuff, it's changing text alignment, right? It's changing a lot of stuff about the whole document, because it changes all of the document, because we've set up the structure. So now I'll go back to this other document in a second. Okay, we're going to look at this other document, and I can change the styles in this one as well, even though I formatted and painted it myself, but it doesn't have as much effect. So if I look at the style set, now that other one we did was fancy. See, this doesn't have the same look. It didn't change the alignment. It changed the text alignment rather, but it didn't change these things that I did manually. It didn't change this color. Anything that I did manually, it's left alone. It doesn't change them. So I can, it doesn't have the same power to make changes on its own as it does for the one that we set up completely with structure, right? So now the one this was structured by using styles, we were able to change the whole structure of the document. Now there's many more advantages to using styles, just besides we can make our document look a lot better. Let's go over to references and say we want to make a table of contents. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to make room for a table of contents, because we need to have a table of contents about our earthworms. So I'm going to make a table of contents, and I'm going to have it look like this. And here's my table of contents. This was all made by Word itself. I didn't have to type any of that. Now it just went through and picked out my heading structures, and it put them in there and put the page numbers on them. And say, for example, I went here into this section under Blood 2, and I added a bunch more text. And now veins and arteries, which were on page 2, are now on page 3. So if I want to update table, right, update the entire table, now veins and arteries are showing on page 3 instead of page 2. They were on page 2, right? And if I delete it and bring them back up here, oh, maybe now let's see what it does if I do that. Veins and arteries now show as on page 2, where it was on page 3, right? So if I go back down here, add more again, update the table, update the entire table. Veins and arteries now is on page 3, right? So I'm going to leave it here for now, and I'm going to update my table of contents so it's accurate, because I want to show you one more thing. Okay, so now let's go back to our other document. If I want to make a table of contents here, I go table of contents, I select this, and there's nothing there to make a table of contents from, right? There's no table entries, right? Now I should have made spaces. I should have made space for this, and I didn't, right? I should have made space for this here, like I did for the other one, right? I knew it wasn't going to make a table of contents, right? So if I want to make a table of contents, select text in your document, right? I don't have any headings to make the table of contents from. It's not going to work. You have to apply a heading styles in the styles gallery. That's the only way it's going to work. That's what it tells you right here on this error, okay? So that's another good feature of styles.